Blessings, Quantum Family. It's Jules, and this is the Becoming BioQuantum podcast. And I am super excited about what we're going to do today. We're going to do something a little bit different. I have Rebecca with me, and I'm going to have her introduce herself here in just a moment. But I kind of am calling this the transformation of comedy because Rebecca is really going to show us how something that can be created for the first time when we are following the intelligence or that divine voice within us and what can come of that. So before we go too much into the creation that we are going to experience, I'll just have you introduce yourself first of all, and then we'll go into some questions.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Jules. My name is Rebecca Dupree. I am a screenwriter. I was an attorney until 2015, and I felt very, very unfulfilled in that job. And I felt an extreme divine nudge to make a change. And it felt so crazy at the time because it was nothing I was trained in. It just was crazy. But I knew that I wanted to write creatively for specifically TV and film. And I had no training in that. And I didn't even like super love TV and film. But I think because it was so crazy, I just was like, okay, well, I'm so unhappy in what I'm doing. I'm going to make this shift. And from there, I've just continued sort of going where I've been led. And then I discovered your work, and it basically put a, rocket booster on my entire life, including my creative work. And an idea was born for a web series that is interactive and collaborative with the audience. And to my knowledge, it's never been done before, which is, what you're most known for, Jules, I think, is helping people to create things that are absolutely, unprecedented. And it's an idea that I came up with in your work, and am now just following the breadcrumbs and watching it grow and build and change and evolve. And it's all really exciting and really fun.
I love it. So let's go back to we were just talking before we got on of the conversation that kind of brought you into all of this because this has always been a passion. You've been I know before this you had written even I believe a couple of pilots or that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden this idea kind of sprouted, if you will. So let's just talk a little bit about where this all started and then what you did once you got because it's great when we have great and ideas, but it's what we do with those ideas and what and how we follow the ideas that is most important. So I want to talk about the journey of how you got here.
Yeah, I mean, what immediately popped in my mind was it's not what you think it is. And so when I first decided I want to be a screenwriter, I thought, okay, well, what I have to do is apparent in the industry, like your script is kind of your resume. So you try to create the best pilot or the best screenplay you can, and then you shop that around and you try to get representation. And that was sort of the model I had been working in for years and years and years. And I wasn't getting anywhere. I don't live in California. I'm not really connected in that scene. And Jules, we were having a conversation about career and the codes that were coming through. And you were like, I'm really feeling like you need to just start putting your stuff out there. Like simplify these stories that you're writing into something that you can kind of create yourself. And I got so lit up at that idea. And really, that moment kind of changed everything because the minute I said, you know what, I'm gonna produce my own work. I've got this idea for a story. The story that is the web series was originally a pilot, a TV pilot I had written. And they were based on characters that I had created and that I could play. And so I was like, I'm just gonna make a podcast out of two of my characters. And they're going to talk about this story in podcast format. And so that was the kind of original idea. And I started telling people about it. And someone was like, oh, well, I have a microphone you can have. And somebody else was like, oh, my husband does trainings on how to create podcasts. And I was like, this is amazing. I'm getting all these resources. And then someone was like, oh, I know a cinematographer in Charleston, South Carolina, that you should talk to. And I literally called him that day. He used to be a vet tech and actually had been with the vet we went to when we had a dog. So we knew each other from years prior. And I told him, this idea that I had, and I said, I'm just going to do it myself. It's going to be this really simple podcast. And he said, no, I want to help you do this. I want to make it into like a real, like it looks like a real pilot for real TV. And so that's just one example of how it evolved and changed. And so, but it's like, and at every stage, when I think it's this and it starts to shift, it feels so right. It feels so natural. It feels like looking back on it. Of course, this is what would happen. Of course, this is how it's going to go. And it's just been the most fun and natural sort of progression. So the original, it was a pilot I had written, and then it was maybe going to be a podcast, and now it's this web series. And the other piece that's come in is so I've written the first episode, we filmed the first episode. It's going to be released as like a full-length episode on YouTube at the end of April. But the rest of the story is going to be created in real time with the audience. So on social media, the characters in the story are going to be interacting, asking for advice, asking what the audience thinks about, which suspect we should investigate, where should we be looking, what should I wear, for this episode, stuff like that. And so what I hope is that the world of the story gets bigger and bigger and bigger, both in terms of the audience, but also in terms of just the people that are adding to what's being created. And just being in the frequency of it, I can feel it, and it's so fun, but it's also so loving, and just it just already feels like a big family. And I love sitting in this frequency. I love playing in it. And I just really hope I can do it justice, but I'm trying, and it's been so fun and so exciting, and I hope I answered your question. But yeah, that's what's sort of how it's gotten to where it is now.
So there was another thing that you brought up before we got on, and I just feel like it's such a brilliant place to bring this in. And what you said you wanted to talk about was kind of the work that you're doing within the community and how that's pertaining to that you don't have to be a spiritual healer or a coach or this or that, and that you can use it. I mean, look what you just came to. I mean, it just blows my mind is that it doesn't matter what it is that we do, that we all have the ability to be in this beautiful frequency that you're feeling and allow the intelligence to guide us into creating what we're here to create. And I want to talk a little bit about that. I'll just let you kind of take over.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not what you think it is. When I first sort of began my spiritual journey, I was like, God, like, please don't send me to work for Mother Teresa, because that didn't seem exciting to me. And I thought the only way to be a spiritual person was to do these very, I had specific ideas in my mind based on sort of the religion I was raised in. And I think even, it's just very easy to say, well, I don't have this like great spiritual calling, or I don't have even this like big passion. I don't have this great sense of purpose. And what has been so amazing is that, like, the divine meets you in your own life, in the things that you love, in the things that you find fun and fulfilling and exciting. Like, that is what the divine is using in your life. And in my life, it looks like, truly, you guys, like, it is so stupid. Like, this comedy is not about spirituality. It is not about anything esoteric. It is literally, like, couldn't be stupider. And at the same time, it's like that's my favorite thing to play in. I have so much fun. It's so exciting to me. I could do it all day. It feels very relaxing, but at the same time, creative. And I, like, the fact that this is what the divine is leading me to in my life, it just feels like it's my birthday every single day. I don't even know how to put it, but this is not what I expected. Like, I thought I would have to do something I didn't want to do. And instead, I'm being led to just go deeper into the things that I'm most in love with and having the most fun with. And I think that's what's so cool about comedy in particular, is that I think most of you know from class that I have a tendency to think about things and be very analytical and very serious, and leaning into things like comedy and play and it's just, it immediately, like, shifts your frequency out of your head, and into that place of just sort of joy and outside of the box thinking and all of that kind of stuff. And so it's just like it couldn't be more tailor made to what I need. But I don't know why I didn't expect that the divine, would orchestrate it so perfectly that I would just be in love with my own life, doing all the things I love to do. And that would be sort of my gift and my contribution to the world. But that seems to be the way it's all working out. And I like to say too, like, I made a decision early on because I was like, I don't know, if I'm gonna have a huge contribution, right? Like, I don't know if making these comedies is really gonna help a lot of people, but it's helping me, it's helping me be a better mom. It's helping me be a better wife. It's helping me be a nicer person at the grocery store to do what it is I love to do. And the other thing I was telling Jules is that being able to follow the frequency in this one area of my life and just take it truly, like, one little baby step at a time, it's taught me how to do that in other areas of my life. And I'm like, oh, just remember, what it's like when you're playing and when you're just staying in this space of, like, okay, show me what's next. And it felt easy because I was creating a web series and I had no idea how to do it. And I needed all this divine help, but I can do the same thing in relationships that feel like I know everything about them. You know what I mean? So it's really been my sort of blueprint for how to live the rest of my life. Um, so yeah, it's very cool.
I love that. So the way I was hearing you is when we are willing to step into the field of 963, if you will, and we have that expression and we're listening to an intelligence outside of our programming, that we're given direction, and it's usually breadcrumb by breadcrumb. And I call that learning to live in frequency, because you're not living through a programmed reality, you're living through the intelligence of this frequency. And it makes sense that we would take that into one area of our lives that we love and we're ready to pour into and practice it. And then, just like you said, then we can open it up and say, oh, well, if I could do it here, I can do it here, and I can do it here. And this is actually reminding me of a podcast interview I had with Peter Cater. He's a two-time Grammy Award winner. He's a pianist, and he's really, really good at staying in flow and connecting into that intelligence when he's creating. But he's not really very good at bringing that into other areas of his life. And what I love hearing you say is that taking the next step to challenge yourself to do that. And that's what it is to live a conscious life. So I just want to honor you for that because I think it's brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's only the most fun I've ever had. So it's like, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I just, it's like out of self-interest and, being more filled with excitement and fun and joy. Of course, I'm going to try to spread this as far and wide as I possibly can. And thank you, Jules, for giving me the tools and the resources to be able to do what I mean, I didn't know this world existed, before meeting you and finding your work. It truly is living beyond my wildest dreams.
Major chills. I love it. I love hearing that as well. Well, do you have, before we go any further, and I know everybody's super excited to step into character. I want to, yeah, look at make sure we covered everything that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I think we did. I guess I think I did say this, but just that um yeah, the divine intelligence is going to use your passion and your interests. And maybe it's something that you think is frivolous, or that like doesn't matter. But if it's something that brings you fun and joy and excitement, like that's the perfect place to follow the breadcrumbs because it's going to be kind of easier. And so that's just the way it's worked for me. And like I said, it was something that at first, I kind of had to wrap my mind around, like, how am I, how is this a spiritual thing I'm doing? It doesn't feel like my traditional concepts of spiritual. But it was the divine guiding me through my own passion and my own interests and my own things that I loved. And I think that fun is just like it's everything. And if you can have fun with whatever it is, whether it's a difficult relationship, whether it's something you're trying to, work on in our community in terms of transcending this difficult thing in your life, if you can approach it from this place of fun, it just gets easy and it just gets exciting and all the work sort of happens for you. Um, and I think that's it. I think that's all I got.
So Kathy just said something, it popped back out, but it was something like um, bringing joy to people in the world is a gift, and it so is. And the other thing I'm hearing is it's it's reimagining what we think living a spiritual life is, because really for me a spiritual life is a conscious life, and it's how conscious can I be and how can I master my own consciousness. It's There's just no end to it. And when if we approach what we would call spirituality from that space, we really have the ability. Oh, I know that's so funny how it does that. We have the ability to, and I like to use the word ascension, but we to ascend anything. So here
Mm,
you are ascending, if you will, what it is to create a sitcom or a pilot or a comedy or this or that, is because you're always stepping in, because you're stepping in by following the intelligence that isn't your programming. It's creating something brand new. And that is such a high level of consciousness. And it doesn't matter what we apply that to, because it doesn't only change us, but it changes the field and the frequency of the world. So honor you for this, and I just can hardly wait to go into character. So I feel like what we'll do is we'll bring Delaney on board, and
okay.
I'm just going to actually remove my pin, let Delaney introduce herself, and then we'll move it into gallery and let everyone play, and get to know can't Delaney. All right, let me remove my pin here. So bear with me for just a moment. All right, Delaney, welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you here. I'm just going to let you introduce yourself.
Hey guys, it's me, Delaney. Thank you so much, Jules, for having me on today. I know you guys probably already know who I am. I'm a very famous podcaster. My podcast, Down Mom for Murder, has like so many listens on Spotify. Everybody's obsessed with it. And we're trying to find Teensy. She's a very dear friend of mine. She disappeared and we're worried about her. So I really appreciate Jules having me on to just help spread my word, just to talk to everyone. And you guys, y'all can ask me anything. Like, I'm sure you want to know, my skincare routine, what I'm wearing. It doesn't matter. I'm an open book. So you let me have it. Anything you want to know, just ask.
I love this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bring it into gallery so that we can open up the discussion with Delaney. Okay, Marilyn has a question. Let's go, Marilyn.
Marilyn, hey, Marilyn, I can't hear you.
Mm.
Oh my God,
Well,
Marilyn, you have the cutest name, but I can't hear you, girl.
Sorry about that. How long has Teensy been missing?
Oh, you guys, Teensy's been missing for kind of a while now, and the police they're getting nowhere. Like, I don't even think they're really doing anything. So, that's why my friend Bev, she's going to be on a little bit later. She's like an actual private investigator. But we're taking matters into our own hands because it's so sad that Teensy is gone. And we really want to track her down. She has so many friends, she has a family. And thank you so much, Marilyn, for asking that because that is very important, and that's why we're here is to
Are you
find Tina.
are you sure she hasn't run away?
She maybe did, but even if she did, we need to see where she is, just
mm,
to give all her friends some peace of mind.
mm. Thank
Fleur. Yeah, thanks, Marilyn. Fleur, hi.
Hi. I was wondering if you could just tell us a little bit more about T. What your friend is like, um what she does, what she's like as a personality. Is this in character for what she's done? Was her disappearance not in character? Uh,
Fleur, those are such good questions. Okay, I'm gonna be like really honest with you guys. I said that Teensy and I were dear friends, and we are on social media. I'm not like I don't spend just like a ton of time with her. I hope once I find her that we get to spend more time together. But no, she has never just disappeared from the woods before. This is the first time that like she was jogging in the woods and now she's just gone. Okay. And it was at a retreat for her company. She's in some sort of company. They sell skincare and do all sorts of cool stuff. And there were so many women there and they were having the best time. They were doing what ladies do. I wasn't invited. And am I mad that I wasn't invited? No, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. Um, so I hope that answers your question, Fleur. Next. No.
Let's go with the now.
I can see that you're really upset about this, and I'm coming from a place where we don't have kidnappings or anything like that, in the UK. So it's baffling, right? But what I want to know is how does the police feel about your involvement, and also where did you get that headband?
Oh my God. Thank you. This headband is custom. So, I can, if you want to send me your info, I can maybe have my guy get in touch with you. Um, And oh shoot, what was your other question?
How do the police feel about your involvement?
They're not happy about it. They're like, get out of here. But, that's because the police are very like, it's just a bunch of guys that like to do everything their own way. And they're intimidated because you know what? We're finding clues, like we're on the ground, we're seeing stuff. We're gonna solve this, and the police are gonna be like so embarrassed. But yeah, they've basically said, like, stay out, stop what you're doing. And I'm not gonna listen because I'm a very determined woman. Kathy, hey.
Hey, how you doing? Have you thought about bringing a dog in to kind of search the woods where she was? Because I'm feeling that the police aren't doing that for you. So just a really strong dog that will maybe help you find Tootsie.
Kathy, oh my God, that is such a good idea. I have a little teacup Yorkie. I take her everywhere. She has been sniffing around, and I swear to God, she's gonna find Teensy. Her name's her name's Jezzy. And I think you're exactly right, Kathy. Like the dogs are gonna be what find her because the police, they're not, they're they're not gonna do it. Marilyn, are you back?
Yeah, sorry, early. What was her relationship like with her family?
That's one of the things that we're trying to figure out. I don't really know. Like I said, everything looked really good. You know what I mean? Like she had a beautiful, just like everything looked great on social media. But I have my suspicions that like maybe there's more to that story. So, TBD, stay tuned. We will find out. No?
Follow-up questions.
Yeah.
What kind of clues have you found so far, and why weren't you invited to this retreat?
Okay, well, the clues we found so far is we found this piece of jewelry in the woods. We went, Bev, my private investigator, and we went into the woods, okay, where Teensy was last seen, and we found we're not sure what it is. But like I was saying about the dog smelled it and he did say it is a clue. So we are certain that it is a clue. And we're trying to figure out who the owner of this piece of jewelry is. And we're going to interview them and we're going to find out what their story is. And that's the main clue that we have right now. But obviously we know we're going to find other clues too, because we're looking and we're working all the time. And I love your accent. Jody.
Oh, I want to roll it back to skincare because
Okay.
when you first you offered your skincare routine, so I'm curious about it. But also, she was at a skincare conference, so
Mm.
is there like is that what kind of brought the two of you together, that common ground? And tell me a little bit about your skincare. I'm 66. I like good tips if you got some.
Jody, I love where your head is at. Gosh, that was such a good question. So personally, I use this amazing line of skincare. It's made by this like amazing guru Jules, and it's anti-aging. It's like got like gold particles and like fairy dust in it. And then, but what Teensy was selling is, so it's called the Total Package, okay? And it's one of these groups that like, it was like kind of like a pyramid scheme, okay? Um, but they sell everything, all right? They sell skincare, they sell athleisure, they sell workouts, they sell drinks you can drink to make yourself skinnier. And Teensy was like pretty high up in the company. And did you ask like, why I wasn't invited?
Well,
I don't, yeah, now ask that. I don't know why I wasn't invited. I tried to get an invite. I would assume if like they were good business people that they would just want me there. But you know what? That's one of the other things that we're investigating is like, is this even a real company? If you're not just going to let people come in that want to come in and sell your products, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds fishy. You know what I mean?
It does sound,
It makes no sense that you aren't invited. Do you know what I mean? Because you're like,
thank you.
yeah. Anyway, that's
Thank you.
yeah.
Will you put your number in the chat? Because
Yeah,
I think we could be friends.
please do reach out, man. You
You
know, I'm
have
here.
the best ideas of anybody I've talked to yet. I need your kind of like mind energy on this. Thank you so much.
For you. All right, babe, we'll talk.
Thank you. Trish.
Delaney, first I want to order 5 of your band headbands, like one in like blue, yellow, pink, red, and orange. Okay, first off the top. And I was wondering, you're really upset, like about her for something
Yeah.
like, like, and her name is Teensy, like, and she's working with longevity. Is there any chance she just sort of disintegrated, dissolved, this went back in time with her turtle package? Like, it sounds weird to me.
Whoa. Whoa. Trish. Okay.
I know.
Gypsy magic. You know what? Those ladies were into some weird stuff. I mean, I don't think what you're describing is possible, but are you saying that somebody murdered her and then they said that she just went back in time?
Well, I don't want to imply anything, but it is really sort of odd. And why do you like her?
Mm, she's beautiful and she has like a million friends. Everything about her is perfect. I mean, duh. She's
Yeah.
like the best. Everybody knows that.
Mhm.
And she's rich. And I will also send you information about the headband guy, okay?
Okay, good. Yeah,
Mm.
thanks.
Hey, Leanne, what's up?
Hey, Delaney. First off, I mean, this whole look, you are so put together. And I read something that you might be coming out with your own cosmetics line. And I just need to know if there's any truth to that, because I would be the first person to order.
Okay, Leanne, put your number in the chat too. Oh my gosh. Jules, your people are like the best people. Thank you so much. I would love to do a cosmetics line. You know what? If like the total package people won't have me, like I'll just create my whole own thing. That is such a good idea. Um, I have floated that idea. I've not found anybody yet that wants to help me with that, but I'm going to tell them that I have people now that are willing to like, that want it, that are wanting to see it.
I just can't believe that nobody has sponsored you yet. But I mean, look at the face. Look at the face. You've got it going on. That's all I can say. I guess I need to ask the one question about Teensy taking it back to her family.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we really know about the husband? You know that the majority of time in these disappearance cases, you know that it's the husband. So I just like to know what the police have to say about that, or what you've dug up on your own. I mean, what do you think about it?
I'm okay. Between me and you, I am very concerned about the husband. And he's very connected. Okay. He's got like connections all over town. So I don't think the police are even really looking there. But I agree. It is always the husband. And this is why. This is why you need people like me who can find out the real truth, find out the real facts, And I will tell you one thing, Leanne, I will give you my solemn promise right now. If he did something to hurt Teensy, I will find out and I will bring him to justice. Okay.
I'm feeling it. And I just want to volunteer. If I could do anything for you, Delaney, I mean, you are just such an icon, really, truly. And if I could be a part of this, I would really love to. I will put my number in the chat and just thank you for your time. It's just a privilege to talk to you.
Thank you. You guys, this is like, I mean, I know it's really sad that Teensy's gone, but this is like kind of the best day of my life.
I love
You
that.
know,
So I feel like, Delaney, if you are open, could we bring Bev on to kind of go deeper into this and give you a chance to go and just celebrate this victory? And I would even maybe take some of these quotes and go post on social media and let everybody know about how this went. And we'll send you the recording of this so that you can blast it to the universe of just how much you are loved and adored, and you really are going to be the next. I just already see it. So we're so excited for you. But I would love for everybody to have some time with Bev, because I feel like there's some more clues that we could get to with that.
you should talk to Bev. You guys, thank you so much. You know, I'm going to be tweeting about this like all night long. This was amazing. You guys gave me so much good information, and I'll see you next time.
We love you.
Bye. Love you. Okay, y'all ready?
All right. Are you guys having fun with this? This is so fun. Here comes Bev. Little costume change here if you're listening to this on a podcast. You'll definitely have to go to the YouTube. If you're listening to this on a podcast, you definitely have to go to the YouTube so you can appreciate. So I'm going to actually pin you to the top again and let you just introduce yourself so everybody can get a good look at Bev. Let's see, speaker view. All right, here comes Bev. Welcome, Bev.
So, Julie, thanks for having me on here. I just got off a pretty hectic shift over at Dick's Sporting Goods. Um, but you know what? This is important. This lady, what's her name? I think it's like Tiny Peterson. Anyway, she's missing. And we're gonna do everything we can to find her. And I mean, I don't really know what we're doing here. Delaney was just like, Bev, you got to be here at 4:45. There's some people in the community that want to talk to us. So I'm here. And y'all just tell me what you got, and I'll see what I can offer.
Amazing. All right, let's open it up to the community. Donna, I'll let you start, and then I'm just going to put myself on mute. And Bev, I'll just let you kind of take over.
Bev, so nice to meet you. Are you incognito at Dick's? I mean, is this like this is your like side job that you meet the community and but you're really a private investigator and you're trying to gather clues for different cases? Or are you a friend of the missing person?
These are all very good questions, Donna. I'm a full-time employee and manager of Dick's Sporting
Oh,
Goods. We got a big store, flagship store here in Mount Pleasant. That is my full-time paid position. My daddy was he was a PI, B.
ah,
Dixon Investigations. He taught me everything he knows. And he was a damn good investigator before he got. He's not with us any longer. God rest his soul. So, but his business was still around. This lady She called me up one day in a panic, said, "Hey, my friend Teensy's missing. Are you an investigator with B. Dixon Investigations?" I said, "I'm Bev Dixon. I know how to look for things." Am I a licensed investigator? Technically, no. Do I have a proven track record of finding stuff that's gone missing? Yes, I do. And is Delaney paying me to help her? Yes. Otherwise I would not be doing this. I would be just, in my hot tub, kicking back, chilling.
Uh-huh. Interesting. Well, have you thought about, her big social media community? Like, you could get in there and see who might have been, jealous, or, maybe some good clues. I mean, if you ask your daddy from the great above, maybe he could, channel some information into you that would help you, get in her social community group, into those files and those threads that might offer up some good information. Just a thought.
Okay, Donna, I love where your head's at.
Mhm.
Are you suggesting I contact my dad via Ouija board? Because if so,
Hmm.
I would love to have a seance. I've been wanting to do that. And I had not, you know what, I hadn't considered that as like helping me solve this case.
Uh-huh.
But
I
if
think
that's
your
what you're
daddy might have
saying,
something to tell
hey,
you.
that's a really good idea.
Hmm.
I think we should do that. And as for what you were
In the
saying
hot
about
tub.
social media, you know, uh, my daddy didn't really use the internet.
Mhm.
And yeah, I Googled teensy. I did not find much.
Mhm.
So far that's a dead end.
Okay.
Yes. Jody.
Bev, I mean, you have a community of like, 24 of us here who really want to help. What can we do for you? I'm in for the seance. I think that's a brilliant idea. I think, could we do any better than, directly from your dad? Do you know what I mean? And all his experience.
Yeah.
But what can we do for you? And also, what is Teensy's real name?
Teensy is her real name. It did
I
not
thought,
make sense to me either, Jody.
uh,
I agree. It's the stupidest name I've ever heard.
was,
Who's
hoping,
naming their kid Teensy?
yeah, yeah, makes
But
no.
that's apparently what was on her birth certificate.
Yeah. Well, she must have. Did she have even a last name, or did that like not even make it to the birth certificate?
Her last name is Peterson.
Teensy.
It's her married name.
Well, let us know what we can do for you.
Uh, you know what, Jody? I really appreciate that. You got that kind of can-do attitude. This gonna make the difference around here. So far, we've been putting up missing posters, okay? We've been putting those up all over town. And we've been getting some calls. Most of them are crank calls. Uh, that's why we decided to have this meet in person so I could see everybody's faces. I'm very good at telling from somebody's face whether they're giving me accurate information. Like Donna here, who just said, "Hey, why don't you contact your daddy via seance?" I said, "You know what, Donna, you're a straight damn shooter and you're shooting me straight." Okay. Same with you, Jody. I can look at you and I'm like, this lady knows what's up. This lady is going to pound the pavement. She's going to help me. She's not going to be doing crank calls out in the parking lot telling me, that, hey, there's an old stinky pair of panties down at the TJ Maxx that I don't, you know what? I don't even care. I don't need to go look down there. It's just wasting my time. So thank you.
We're here for you.
Thank you, Jody. Man. No.
Well, I'd like to ask a question I think everybody's probably thinking is, what's it like working with Delaney? And could you give a couple examples of things that you've found that were lost? You mentioned you have a history.
Delaney's a piece of work. I mean, y'all saw her, right? Uh, I don't know what y'all thought, but but she's okay. She takes direction pretty well. And so I will give her that. She's kind of an idiot. But if you tell her, hey, your head's not in the right place, she will listen. And so, and you know what else? You can trust her. So that's the reason I'm willing to do this. Also, as I said, she is paying me. But do we have our scuffles? Do we have our differences of opinion? Do we sometimes not see eye to eye? Yes, obviously. But you know what? She's good people, so I'm trying to get over it. Um, and then you said something about what have I found that's been lost? Um, I found my mama, she lost her life alert pendant. I found that it was real wedged into the back of the couch cushions. My Donnie, the general manager down at Dick's, he loses stuff all the time. He lost his cell phone just yesterday. And I said, Donnie, it's right here sitting next to the cash register. So that's just the kind of stuff. If you're missing something, you can just let me know. I'm just good at, well, I'm good at most things. So like if it's like, hey, we're gonna go down to the lake this weekend and we're gonna sit in inner tubes, I'm gonna be the best one at doing that. We're gonna go out into the woods and we're gonna look at birds. I'm gonna find all the best birds. Okay. My binoculars are probably gonna be the best binoculars. So it just makes sense if somebody calls me up and says, hey, can you find this person that's missing? The police can't find her. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I can.
That's
Wow,
really impressive.
I love that. Thank you. No, that was a great question. And Bev, gosh, we just feel honored to be in your presence because we can tell, I mean, really both you and Delaney have something unique to bring. And we can tell that you guys are going to go all the way and you're going to find Teensy, and just know that we're all here for you and supporting you in any way that we can. I feel like I'm going to start talking.
Hey, when Delaney said we got to come on here, I was like, why? This seems real stupid. But you know what? This has been awesome because most people are not taking me and Delaney seriously at all. And I don't understand it. I mean, in my opinion, I'm a force to be reckoned with alone, much less with her, she can grease some skids, if you know what I mean. So the two of us together, it's like just freaking fire and lightning together. But nobody wants to listen to us. Nobody thinks we got any good ideas. And then I come here, finally, it's a few people that are sane that can recognize some talent and just some real good thinking when they see it. And thank you. Finally, for once in about the past like 2 months, I feel like I'm not crazy being in this group, being appreciated, being supported. And you know what, Jules? I thank you for doing what you're doing and let me come on here because I did need this. I didn't even know I needed it. But I did. And so hats off to you.
Right back at you, girl. We're here, and I want everybody just give Bev a warm blessing as she goes and does her work in the world. We're rooting for you. And are there any, let's go ahead and let Bev go on, leave, and we'll bring Rebecca back to just kind of close things out.
You guys, thank you so much. That was so fun. Oh my God.
I just can't. It was so good. My stomach hurts I mean, there was a few times I just, the headband, I think was my turning point. Kate, did you have something that you wanted to say? Let's see. If you're talking, you're on mute still.
I think
Oh,
while we're waiting on Kate, I don't see her anymore. What was so fun was people immediately picked up on who these people were, and were asking such like fun questions and meeting them right where they were, which is, I mean, just the best. I feel like it really was the best day of Delaney's life, like ever.
Well, we're so happy that we got to uplift her.
Yeah, she's on cloud nine right about now.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, for coming and just playing and showing us what you've been working on. And you're so talented. And I mean, could just imagine if this was in person. Could you imagine her being up on a stage and having this interaction? And but this is what she wants to invite you all into continuing to do with her on some level. So go to her website. We'll put that link in the show notes as well so that everybody can find her and participate in the creation that she's in the middle of right now.
Yes, please. This is the exact, this, like I said, this is our test run, but I hope to be doing this, you know, often and creating, I'm trying to think, something came out like, oh, I didn't know before this that Delaney had a dog. I didn't know that Teensy's husband was like connected in the community. So already I'm learning new information that I didn't know. And this is exactly how this story is going to get written. Because truly, like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I need the audience pulling information out to literally write this thing. So we're going to create it all together, and you guys are, I mean, I just would want to do this every day for the rest of my life. Like that was so much fun, and I felt so loved and in flow with all of you. And thank you so much for going there and playing with me.
Thank you. And absolutely thank all of you for coming and participating and loving on Bev and Delaney, and of course, participating with Rebecca as she brought through this beautiful creation. We love you all so much and look forward to the next time. Enjoy your weekend, and thank you so much, Rebecca.
Thank you guys. Oh my gosh, the best.
Bye, everyone.